what they have done. So let's pass it over to them.
Hey
Okay.
everyone.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. All three of us are here. I'm gonna introduce and then let Lau and Zoe kind of take over. I advised on this project. I did not actually work on this project because I had nasal pyramid reconstructed surgery at the beginning of June. So please ignore the tape on my face. It has to stay there right now. But these two were fantastic. I didn't have to. There wasn't a lot of confusion. Zoe and Lau did great work. I'm excited to watch them present this because I think that everyone's going to really love it. So, Zoe, Lau, you take over, and I'm going to sit back and enjoy.
Thanks, Spencer. Hi everyone. I'm Zoe Hayden. I am editor at the Victory Press. And Lau, would you like to introduce yourself really quick?
My name is Lao Xioi, data scientist.
Awesome. So, Lau used the Big Data Cup Olympic event dataset, which includes games from the 2018 Olympics, the 2019 Rivalry Series, Women's Worlds from 2019, and some NCAA games to model the angle and distance of the primary assist leading to a goal. So you've probably all seen this data if you're here. If you haven't, you should go check it out. It's really interesting. Direct passes before shots on goal are extracted, and then I'll let Lau take it away from here. The next few slides are his.
Yeah, so my modeling is essentially a simple Bayesian logistic regression model that consider the goal making probability of the shots. And the major inspiration is the Royal Road, which is the area spans across the middle of the rink. When the passes are crossed from the Royal from either side of the rink, the shot making chance is much higher. Then with the big data data, we hope that we can find some sort of relationship between more specifically how the distance and the pass that cross the road will lead to the change in the shot making probability. So after accounting for the distance, we can see in this Bayesian bootstrapped example, the red line is represent the mean outcome of all the Bayesian models. And see when the longer the path distance is, the higher the chance the shot will be making in the goal. And next, we can have modeling the angle between the shots. That means, for example, like in this case, the theta here, if the theta is 0, that means the shots are much more likely to come from the Royal Road side. And if the theta here is big, then it's come from the opposite side of the more likely come from the opposite side of the Royal Road. And we can see for angle 0 here, that means the Royal pass is a higher goal converting chance. And for the opposite from the Royal is have a lower chance for converting the shots. Yeah, so the conclusion here is that both the distance and the angle will contribute to Royal affecting the shot making chance. And more precise estimate made from a larger data set, and also seeing more, for example, like controlling for the shooting talents or goalie talents can be considered as future work.
Yeah, so I don't know how much folks know about me, but I am not super into analytics. So when Lau presented this data set to me, I decided that I would start thinking about how this data could apply to practical applications that you could see as you're watching the game on the ice. This data illustrates some things that are obvious, such as the danger of cross-ice passes in the slot and the importance of defending against them. it also illustrates potential best angles for serving passes to a shooter so that they can get a quick shot off as soon as the puck is received. While it calls to mind direct passes, you might also think about these angles in more indirect situations as well, even though those would probably be modeled differently, as I'll discuss a little bit later. Shooters can identify strong shooting opportunities based on these types of angles. Basically, anything that gets the goaltender moving or puts the puck in an unexpected shooting location increases your scoring chance. The best way to do this is with passes that are as close to horizontal as possible and that cross the royal road. Obviously, if you watch the game of hockey, this isn't super revelatory information, but it's interesting to actually see like the mathematical angles play out and think about how this might assist people who are drawing up set plays, who are trying to identify situations where maybe the pass angle could have been modified in game tape to create a better scoring chance. So I drew up a couple of examples from this data set. It just so happened that I picked two goals that I thought that I would be able to very quickly identify as like direct pass opportunities that led to goals. And they happen to work really well in illustrating this model. Obviously, there are a lot of scoring opportunities that don't come from direct passes, but these two ended up being really good examples. So this is the first USA-Canada group play game in the Pyeongchang Olympics. A broken play from the point sends the puck deep near the goal line, where Natalie Spooner is able to make a backhand pass across the slot to Megan Augusta, who scores on a snapshot against Maddie Rooney. So you see here, this is Natalie Spooner. She's going to backhand that pass up across the slot. You can see the puck hanging out in the middle there where it is received, and then Megan Augusta is able to put that past Maddie Rooney pretty cleanly. So I actually did some math to kind of teach myself how this model would work on a small scale by just graphing the goal and the assist and calculating that angle. The angle of this assist ended up being about 50 degrees. The pass distance from Spooner to Augusta is about 15.6 feet. In Augusta's goal, the assist angle was on the lower end, associated with a higher scoring chance. It also crossed the royal road in this case, the slot directly in front of the goaltender. The pass distance was relatively short, but we can anecdotally understand that shorter passes are taking place a lot closer to the goaltender as opposed to the longer passes that you might see like up high close to the blue line. I also did this goal by Susanna Tapani, assist by Petra Nieminen. This was the gold medal game in the 2019 IAHF World Championships. And basically Tuominen intercepted a bad dump in by Danny Cameronese, gets the puck back up ice. Petra Nieminen enters the offensive zone, holds the puck in, and finds Susanna Tapani streaking down the left wing across the middle. Tapani puts a wrist shot past Alex Rigsby to tie the game at 1. The Big Data Cup didn't actually have the coordinates for the assist itself, but it's easy to see visually that this assist angle was a very low angle for the assist. It was a very, like, in hockey terms, close to horizontal. So that created a difficult situation for Alex Rigsby there in net, and obviously it led to a goal. So this obviously isn't specific to women's hockey, just like pretty much every presentation you'll see here, this data definitely has wider applications. Likely applies to direct passing assists at pretty much every level and facet of the sport. I would be interested to see a comparative data set for NHL level hockey, for sled hockey, and also I would like to compare and contrast how the angles are different when it's an indirect play or a deflection, because I think deflections could be modeled in a similar way when you're actually setting up for a deflected goal as opposed to like a direct pass and shoot goal. But that could be a challenging model, but I think it would be really interesting. So yeah, that's what we've got. If there are any questions, I don't know if we have time. And those are our Twitters for Lau and myself. So that's it.
Okay, there we go. I haven't seen any questions in chat yet. However, there is a tiny chant of math occurring. So
Yeah, it was fun.
I might have started that by accident, but still, I have no regrets. We love a math chant. Yeah, no, I think it was really good. And like, just particularly, like, I think a lot of the time, particularly as analysts, and I know I do it even as someone who like came from writing and then went into analytics, I forget to go back and like look at it from the point of view of when I couldn't do analytics and was just writing, and I think that's a very easy mistake sometimes to make. And so yeah, it was really lovely to see all the like the practical examples and how like someone who doesn't just think in charts would see it. So yeah, thank you so much. If you have any more questions for these guys, you can find them on Twitter, you can find them in the chat. Oh my god, I've literally started a math chant all over again.
Thanks so much. It was really great to be here, and it was really fun doing this presentation. I know that Spencer and Lau and I had fun talking about it.
Thank you. I'm going to show us to a transition, and then we'll be back shortly.